Oh, Tottenham. Tottenham. I think if we ever needed a reality check, that was probably it. I think a lot of the things, we'll start with the positives. It was a good game, very, attack based, started really well. Kulusevski with the goal, which was, really put us on the front foot. And I felt at that point we were going to go on and absolutely dominate the game. But I think beyond that, and probably how we played, particularly when we were at 1-1, and even at 9 men, um, we were still in the game. We still had opportunities to win it. And, that is positives to take from that we weren't daunted by the fact that we were down to 9 men. And I think it's clear that the scoreline at the end wasn't really reflective. It was the fact that, once it had gone to 2-1, Tottenham had to push forward to try and get a point. And then Chelsea just picked them off. But for me, I think the things that I really picked out of it was things that we knew going into the season and things that we were really hoping weren't going to come to the fore, particularly till January. It was one of the things, I've done a lot of these where I've talked about getting to January, got to get to January. We're in November, and, if you need things to go wrong, you ideally only really want one, but it was like buses. It wasn't one. There were like loads of things that were going wrong, In terms of Romero, I almost felt that I would have preferred, and it sounds strange saying it, but, if he wasn't going to keep his head, and he was getting more and more reckless, almost take him off. I know people have been critical, myself included, of Eric Dyer, but ultimately, at least you have a body on the pitch. You could see with Romero what was going to happen. You wasn't a case of, particularly after the first sort of incidents and whatever, you thought, maybe not. You could see this was going to go wrong, and it did. Obviously with Van der Ven, that's a horrible one, and we really just have to hope that it's weeks, not months, because he started the season so well, so well, I think, and I would say he's probably been our best defender by a country mile. I know Romero's been well, but we know that he's got this in his game. Then obviously, Maddison went off. I think hopefully, that's something that is just a knock, and fingers crossed he'll be okay for Saturday. But we'll have to wait and see. I think I'd rather not risk it if it is going to become more and more serious than that. Then obviously you had Udogie, who, it's crazy to see it, particularly at any point. But when you're down to 10 men, you've got to keep. Discipline's got to be even more at the fore at that point. You can't go down to 9 men. You really can't. And it just made it nigh impossible. I was so proud that they gotten to as far as they had at 1-1 and had a chance to win it. Bentancur with, was that, did he touch the ball onto it for Eric Dyer? Sonny, could he have placed it better? Things like that. It's all if, buts and maybes. But the thing for me overall was particularly proud of the players that were on the pitch. I thought the manager's style, people say the high line was that bonkers. Well, at the end of the day, we got close. We got close to actually winning the game. And I think that's the thing we've really got to be looking at here is, had it been like 2-3-4-1, maybe it'd have been different. Maybe if we'd been 3-1 down after 70 minutes, is he going to continue that high line? Possibly not. But you've got to look at it. We were still in the game. It was 1-1 and it was the 80-odd minute. And we were still in the game even at 2-1. It just when they got the third one, that at that point the game was gone. So I don't necessarily have an issue with that because, there was still an opportunity to get something from the game. So, and I think I always take the view of it's better to lose 3 or 4-1 having a go than 2-1 and just giving up. That's pathetic in my opinion. So, but the bit that obviously, I've talked about a lot was, as I said, getting through to January. And now we're at a situation where I don't even know what back four we're going to have against Wolves. Obviously, I think it'd be Porro and Royal as fullbacks, and possibly Dyer and Phillips. I don't even know if he'll do that. I wouldn't be surprised if he has Davies there. And then we're going back to the days of when, you know, Conte and Mourinho were there, when they were being critical of what we had. So it really, this game for me, I thought was a real test of where we were. You know, there were a lot of positives, but there were a lot of negatives, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. And I think hopefully, if we can, as I've said, if we can still be around, you know, the top four spots, you know, close to the top, then who knows? But clear as anything, I think everybody knows that come January, more additions are needed. So let's hope the players can regroup. Let's hope that they can take the positives from it. Let's hope, you know, Dyer, you know, I've been critical of him, but actually wasn't too bad, you know, in that game. And it's going to be a tough one, Wolves away. You know, they're playing well under Gary O'Neill. So I do feel that we're going to have to go there and hope that the players that come in, the likes of Royal, the likes of Dyer, possibly Phillips, you know, Davies, whoever he brings in, you know, and even Lo Celso, because if Maddison is further injured, he's got to step up. So it might be that actually this could, in a strange way, be a blessing in disguise, because if these players stumble and fall, if Lo Celso has a stinker, Dyer has a stinker, you know, we can, you know, Postecoglou can be like, look, you've left me with the first 11, which is great, but what's on the bench just wasn't good enough. It really wasn't. So let's see if they step up. And then I think we'll know exactly where we're going to be for, you know, for now until January. But I think it's clear additions are needed. So gutted about the result, pleased with the performance, but, you know, we have to go again. We have to step up. Wolves is a massive game. Let's go there, get the 3 points and show this is just a blip. Come on, you Spurs.